Well, I finally got around to it, and I put the ends on one of my greenhouses, so I figured I'd get that in a video real quick. I did it two different ways. My first idea for putting up the wall was not the best. And the best way to see how I did is from the inside. I started out with a 20-foot 2x4 on the bottom. And what I did is I ran it through my table saw and cut 1 inch off of it so that I could use it up on this top rail here. This whole framework here is 1x2, 1 inch thick. And my first idea was to put a PVC or a conduit, a flexible conduit, around the outer frame of the front wall, but as it turned out, I didn't really need to do that. I made separate. Let me step back a little bit. I made separate frames, 3 of them. There's one there, and then one up there. Let me go onto this side. And I put a doorway and a window in the middle. What I ended up coming up with, what I thought I would do with the conduit, was I would screw the conduit into the pipe and secure the plastic to the conduit, which that didn't work. There was too much airflow and everything through there. So I ended up connecting the plastic to the wiggle wire slots that I had on the sides, or on the main part of the greenhouse. And I'll show you that before I finish. But anyway, I did put the conduit one up, and I screwed the conduit into the pipe, and then fastened the plastic to the wall. I took each one of the frames. I took the 2 lower frames and connected them to the 2x3, 20-foot long, along the bottom. And then I ran that, what was left of the 20-foot 1x2. I put that on top of my doors, or on top of my wall frames. And then from there, I custom made a wall to fit to the rest of the greenhouse. And it seemed to work pretty good. I made a little simple screen door, and then cut open the middle for ventilation. On this side, without the conduit, what I did was was pretty much the same thing, except I left out the conduit and just fastened the corners of the frames. So I connected the 2 lower frames to the 2x3, and then to the 1x2 on top, and then the corner of the frames I screwed straight into the pipe. And I did the same thing up above. And then I connected the plastic under the bottom and along the sides. And we'll go outside and look at that real quick. See, on the outside of the 1x2 frames, I screwed in some 1/2 inch cedar, 1 inch thick, over the plastic, pretty much all down the wall to hold it tight, and then I wiggle wired it above the sides. And this has been up for 6 months, maybe 8 months, and it hasn't shown any problems. I probably should trim the edges a little better, but this has worked really well for the end pieces, and I've had no trouble with my doors. Let's see, when the wind blows, at first my lower part of the wall would move, and I posted some metal stakes. Let me see if I can find them. I don't know if they're still in. Originally, I had posted some metal stakes right here at the base, in the middle, because this 2x3 would move in the wind. There's dirt now that's holding it in place, but yeah, the metal stakes into the ground would firm that up enough. And then we had also put a 1x2 connecting the upper wall with the lower wall to give it more strength for the door. And you see, it's pretty sturdy. We haven't had any trouble. We had some big windstorms this winter. No trouble at all. We are eventually going to make some doors for the open windows to keep some heat in here in the cooler season, but we generally just replenish our soil in the winter, and then we'll get it growing again this summer. So anyway, that is how I did the end pieces for the greenhouses. Really simple and inexpensive to do.